All right, welcome everybody. We are here once again with episode 2 of A Shot of Weeb, where myself, the Epic Wob, and my friend here,
The Seaweed Ambassador,
putting him on the spot, have ourselves a bit of drinking, and we get to talking about anime. This week we watched a show, I think.
say the name. You can do it. I believe in you.
Say the... Did I write it
Oh
down?
my god.
Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu.
No. Okay, no. I will not have this show disrespected like that this early on. Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu Love. Or Cute High Earth Defense Club Love. That's what we watched.
Cute High Earth Defense Love. That's not a
Cute
sentence.
High Earth Defense Club Love. Because it's the Cute High Earth Defense Club. It's not a sentence. You're right. It's a title. Okay.
Okay. I'm already done. I'm out.
All right, so we watched some Magical Boys, to put it lightly.
We watched Magical Boys. That's what this was, yeah.
And what were your initial thoughts?
What were my initial
thoughts? This was a rewatch
thoughts?
for me, but this was your first time in the genre, I believe.
Yeah, I've not even seen Sailor Moon. I had no clue what I was getting into, and I don't know. I was like halfway through the show and still sitting here thinking, like, what am I looking at? I don't know what anything is. Stuff was just happening, and I'm doing my best to absorb it. I think I kind of just gave up and rolled with it after a while.
It's kind of what you got to do at some point with this show. It's so good. Oh, man. So were you positive on it?
Was I positive on it? Theoretically, yes.
Okay.
It was interesting to watch, kind of in the same sense as, I don't want to say like a train wreck because that's too mean.
Because it wasn't, yeah.
But more like, you ever just see something that doesn't make sense and you got to keep like staring at it to try to try to parse what's going on.
I mean, yeah, I know what you mean by that.
And you cannot.
Except I can make with this show. That's where the difference is.
Oh, yeah, dude. All right, go for it. Make sense of it.
What do you like? It's pretty simple. It's just a bunch of magical boys fighting with other magical boys. But I think unlike last week, I think we'll save the big twist for the end, because I think it was a pretty big twist that came out of nowhere, but it still made sense, right? Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah.
We'll get into that later, because
we're gonna do this review in order. Dang it!
Oh boy,
that's a tough ask for us.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so starting from the very beginning, who is your favorite of the 5 boys?
Who is my favorite of the 5 boys? That I don't know. Okay, so there's different answers for this. So
Okay.
like, Yuhuen, I get that, dude. I'm a lazy man myself. If we go purely off of style, though, Ryu popped off.
Oh, my boy Vespa. Yes, I love him so much. He's my favorite.
Vespa. Did I write these?
Well,
I thought it was Vesta.
Yeah,
Did
it's
I write
Battle
that
Over
wrong?
Vesta, I believe.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing that I don't know what that is?
Well,
Because, like, I knew the others. Wait, no, that's a lie. I had no clue what the heck an epinard was supposed to be.
Vespa is a thing, I do believe. It's like isn't it like a little like a bike thing? No, I mean I think it is a thing. I think all of the other 3, the villains, were like stones or stone-esque, I believe.
Yeah. I don't think I wrote them down at all. So, good luck with that one.
We'll get there.
But there was Chevrolet, Pearlite.
That's the only one I remember because
And
that
the
was
other
my
guy.
favorite. Did you have a favorite of those 3?
Did I have a favorite of those 3? I've got to remember who those 3 are. There's so many characters in this.
Okay, so
Probably, I'm looking at a character guide. Where'd he go? Probably Arima, because he was just kind of there.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, most of the vibe was between the other two, and then Arm is just kind of like along for the ride.
See, I really liked Akuya or Gero. I really liked his vibe that he had where he was like holier than thou and like I'm too pretty for this kind of thing. I don't know. I thought that was great. That was just like a
I mean, I think they all had that, though.
yeah, but he did especially like with his hair flip and everything. You know.
Okay, that's
Like,
fair. Hair flip automatically adds plus 10 to the sass.
which also I do want to just say that they're shown in episode 1 as the villains. So we're not skipping to the end here as like who are these villains? No, we know who they are from episode 1. This isn't like last time.
I don't know. Weren't their faces blurred with science magic?
No, they weren't. Not for us. We didn't even learn about that till like episode 3 or something.
That's the joke.
Yep. Oh boy. Okay.
We're off to a great start.
I don't think I get jokes like in this state, but
What are jokes? I have no concept of humor.
yeah, I have a concept of humor. It's just warped at this point, honestly.
I grew up too poor to afford humor.
Oh god. Oh, all right. Okay. So I think we've established who the best characters are, which is Ryu and Gero, from each team respectively, right?
No, but Yumoto was also great, though.
Yumoto.
Yumoto, yeah. The blonde guy that kept hugging the wombat.
The red. Yeah.
Battle to the levels, got it.
Yes. Oh man, yes.
There was so much English in this show, and it was amazing.
It's the best.
It was excellent.
Oh, it's so great. Oh man, everything about this show I love. Oh man, like it's one of my favorite shows, and that's why I chose it.
So okay. So we said we were gonna go in order, and then we're going out of order anyway. So these people, we're talking about them as battle lovers. How did these 5 boys get their powers?
I mean, how else? A space wombat fell into the bath with them while they were in the public bath. Obviously, how else do you get powers?
I mean that's how I got my powers. Yeah. So like,
and you get the love bracelet from him. They got their love bracelets because they're all in the Earth Defense Club at school.
Was that even why they got it though? Because like, didn't the hamster give it to them while they were still at the bath?
First off, it's a wombat, not a hamster.
Sorry, hamster's the other guys.
No, there's no hamster. We'll get to it.
It's basically a hamster. Whatever.
God, bro, you're gonna. Okay, it's gonna be one of those episodes. Okay, so the wombat gave them their powers, but that happened. I'm pretty sure. Did that not happen while they were in the club room? Because because they were out of the because they left because Yumoto was chasing Wamsan.
He was chasing the wombat through the school. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're
well,
right.
he chased him out of the bath to cuddle him, and Yufuin and Kinugawa were the only two, or In and Atsushi were the only two in the bath at that time. We hadn't met Ryu and Io yet.
Correct. Yeah, we didn't meet them until we went to the club room, and they were just like, "Hey, look at this characters. This one likes girls, and this one likes money. That's their trait."
Yeah, but hey, that was a good way to introduce their personalities, and they stuck with it the entire show.
I mean, they really did.
But they were also deeper.
That's something I can't argue.
Also, like deeper characters, than you would first think by their introductions.
Yeah, because they definitely introduced them seeming very, very one note. That was like their theme. And I feel like they still kind of were. Like, they did deviate a little bit at times.
I mean, I think...
But it didn't feel like much.
I think most of them were pretty one note. N's thing was that he was, like, lazy and, like, didn't... and wasn't very energetic. Like, that was him. And, like, Yumoto was this, like, hyper-energetic child. And Atsushi didn't. He was definitely the main character.
Yeah, that's
He
what
had the full
confused me. Is
character.
I really felt like they were setting up Atsushi to be the main character, but then like through most of the show, Yumito took the front by a long shot.
And that was one of the things that I thought was interesting, because you haven't watched any magical girl shows at all, right?
Not a
This
single.
is your first one, which is really weird for your first one. Most people start with Sailor Moon or like Precure or something, right? And you also, I mean, you've watched what? Like, I think we were talking about this before, but you've only watched like one season of Power Rangers, right?
Yes, one series.
Yeah, one
of
series,
Power Rangers.
and you haven't seen any Sentai. I know for sure. But like the reason I'm bringing that up is because there's a lot of parallels here, where like you have each one has their color. Like where Yumoto is the red, Atsushi is the green.
I think you mean Scarlet and Epinard.
Okay, fine. Scarlet is the red, Epinard is the green, Cerulean is the blue, Vespa is pink, and Sulfur is yellow.
Yeah, I think you get bonus points for actually remembering that.
This is my second viewing. But they fulfill those roles as well. Okay, so normally in these kind of things, the red is like the leader of the group. The blue is like the cool, like dependable one. The green is like they're normally like I think they're like the aloof but dependable one. The blue is the calm and cool one. Okay, so pink is like the kind of like fun and excitable one. And yellow is like the God, oh man, which one is yellow? I don't know yellows very well.
Yellow is the rich one.
In this case, maybe like yellow, it might be like the down to earth one. That might be yellow.
Wait, so which one was pink in this one?
Ryu.
Ryu? Oh, right, yeah, because
okay, so here's the thing you
Duh.
gotta know about me. I have a type when it comes to Sentai characters, and that is the color pink. Which is why Ryu is my favorite, partially because he fits that dynamic, but I also just love that type of character. They're really fun, just kind of like fun-loving characters, but like that can also get like emotional and stuff. I really like that. That's like my favorite thing. And plus,
so wait, does like every battle team show then use the same 5 colors?
they don't use the same colors, like color combinations, but like each color like represents a certain thing. So, like, if they have that color, they will be in there. But red is always the leader. So there is always a red.
That's fair, because, I mean, that's kind of like just, like, basic color theory stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. But so I think that's why, for the most part, the reason I brought that up is because I think that's why, for the most part, like, Yumito was the, felt kind of like the main character-ish, because he was the red, and he was, like, the leader of the group, which also made sense, because he's the one who, like, brought them together, or not brought them together, but like convinced them to become battle lovers.
Mm-hmm. See, I think that's the thing that bothered me though, is like we're not going in order. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Is the thing that bothered me is like every time there was a big fight, it like 90% of it felt like Yumito, and only in like very specific instances did the others even do anything.
Yeah, and I think that's a thing like that's from I don't know about necessarily magical girls, because the magical girls shows that I've seen are normally not like a team based thing. It's only like a couple people. So like I've seen the first 3 seasons of Precure, or first 3 series of Precure, which is only like 2 or 3 cures in there, and I've seen some other like random magical girl shows like Madoka Magica and stuff like that. So they're not like really like a team base like this, but like Sentai, like a lot of the ones that I've seen, the red gets like the most upgrades and like the most like abilities, and he's normally like the one that can like figure out how to win the battle in most instances, not always, because there's sometimes, like you mentioned, like there's some instances during the show where that didn't happen, but
Yeah. There were occasions where they actually let the other part of the cast be relevant, and those were some of my favorite episodes, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's definitely interesting, like, because even on my initial viewing, before I even like watched Toku at all, because I initially watched this when it was coming out, when it was airing. I really.
How long ago did it air?
It was before we started college. I think it was 2015. Yeah, it was 2015. It was like at the beginning of 2015.
That tracks.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. It was really I don't know what the word is for this. I don't know. Like, I didn't mind it, as much, but I think that's more because I was watching it as like just like for a fun show week by week, and I still didn't mind it here either, because it I don't know, it was fun, it was cute and fun,
Yeah, and this was definitely an episode by episode kind of show, and
yeah.
I feel like that's kind of double edged for someone like me, because it means, yeah, I can just pick up an episode and watch it. There's not, for the most part, anything really dangerous if I just watch an episode.
There is like a through line in this show, but like you only get that like with the last 2 episodes.
Mostly just with
and
the last 2,
first when they get their powers. But like other than that, like these could, for the most part, be like in any order.
Yeah, and I feel like that actually makes it a little harder for me to get into a show. Mm-hmm. On occasion, next week's episode is like going to prove me wrong because we're talking about one of my favorites that is exactly the same way. Yeah. But I usually find it a lot easier to get into a show that has like a solid building story, like through the episodes.
No, I definitely agree with you, because like that's something I've said for a while, that like episodic shows are really hard for me to watch, because it's harder to binge them. Because you feel after the end of the episode, you feel complete. You don't feel like you want more. There's an exception with this show for me, but for the most part, like if I'm watching like Cowboy Bebop, I'll watch one show, or like if it's a 2-parter or something, watch those. But like at the end of like that episode or whatever, I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue. Like I feel full. If that's the right word.
Yeah, because I definitely noticed that when watching this for like to take the notes for today, because like, I'm sort of like the episode had ended, and I'm like, all right, let's do it again. Whereas when we were talking about Gleipnir last week, there was mystery building, there was story building. I'm like, okay, where's this going to go next? I don't actually know. I want to know what happens.
Right.
Whereas I didn't really have that same driving force with this one.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was one of the benefits of me watching it weekly when it initially aired, is that I was able to fall in love with it, and like I got that like bite-sized chunk each week rather than
watching the whole thing in one night.
Yeah, but it was great. It's great. But now that I've seen it initially, I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's in my top 25 of all time. So
that's almost as many shows as I've seen.
Oh no! Oh boy.
No, I think this puts my count somewhere around like 40 completed seasons.
Yeah.
Or completed shows.
That's a decent chunk,
It's better than someone who doesn't watch anime.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. Oh yeah.
We'll get there. I'm definitely going to be increasing my total number of shows watched over the course of the production of this series.
I was about to say, because almost every week it's going to be another series each week. Like, it won't be
almost, yeah.
Like, there's going to be, because the way we're structured, I don't know if we've said that, the way we've structured it is that right now it's in a 3-week cycle. So the first week is we choose a show we both haven't seen, which will be a little difficult with my thing, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We can wiggle room on that one if we need to, but our initial suggestion from a friend of mine was Gleipnir, and so we went with it because neither of us knew what it was.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. And so it's either going to be like a show neither of us have seen, or like I haven't seen in forever or something. But we have to. The main thing is we have to both agree on it, and then the next week is my week, so I get to choose whatever. I think we get like a.
Guess what this week was?
I think we get like a baseline veto. Like if we can't stand that show or something.
There's a couple of shows that I know I cannot pick without Seaweed freaking out on me.
Yeah, no, there's a couple that we will not because if they're talked about in a positive light, I will be upset. And then the next week will be Wob's choice. And
prepare for some dumb shows on my pick, honestly.
Hey, let's go, dog.
I'm very excited for next week.
But so for those 2 weeks, like it doesn't have to be something we've seen. It can be whatever. Like like we can have seen it or we can have not seen it. You know, like it's just like something we really want to watch or whatever. But it's gonna be normally range around like the 12 episode mark, sometimes to the 24. That's about the basis of this show. I think
20 is about the max we're willing to do in one episode. So if we do any like long, like 30 or 40 episode seasons, we'll split those into 2 podcast episodes.
Yeah, it'll be.
But those won't happen for a while down the road.
And they'll be like few and far between too. Like they won't be very often.
Potentially. I'm not so confident on that one.
I don't think we'll do them like 2. But whatever, we're getting off track.
We'll probably never do them back to back at the very least.
Let's get back to the boys.
Yeah, let's talk about the show we're actually talking about.
Oh man.
So episode 1.
Episode 1 is where it all starts, baby. These boys get their powers.
Episode 1, we pan in and there's 2 bros sitting in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they're not.
Because they are gay. And they're not 5 feet apart. They're like shoulder to shoulder. Because this is a very gay show, if you haven't watched it. There's not a single girl that appears in this show.
Oh.
There's not a single one, because they go to an all-boys high school. Everywhere they go is all guys. Even the beach was all guys. It's all guys all the time.
There was so many dudes.
Yeah. There's so many dudes. And the main cast is a bunch of Baishonen or pretty boys. So
yeah, and that becomes relevant in a few episodes.
It actually does. Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 dudes. These are 2 of our main cast. These were Blue and Blonde.
Oh my god, it's Atsushi and In. The blonde is Yumato. In is brown hair.
Wait, do you know them by the other name than what I have written down? Because I wrote down, I thought it was Kinugawa and Yufuin.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. That's their, like...
Are those the same people?
The same people.
Did we just go, like, opposite names?
Yeah, we just went opposite
names.
names.
This is going to be wild if we're calling all the names.
Okay, I'll call them Kinugawa and Yufuin from now on.
Oh, dear.
What do you have? Do you have Yumato?
Well, for that one, I wrote both names, but I think Yumato is what I've come to know him as.
Ryu.
And Ryu is what I wrote down. I think he's the exception. I think I got that one backwards from the others.
Well, that's fine. What about the last one?
I wrote both names. Naruko.
Okay,
Io.
I call him Io, so we'll call him Io.
Yeah, Io's fine. Io's fine.
All right, so
good that we got that established.
Yes, that's important. So that's our 5 main characters. That's our main cast, and Wombat-san or Wom-san.
And Wombat. Wombat's a wombat. He's pretty easy to
But he's
tell
not
apart.
a wombat. He's just an alien that looks like a wombat.
He's an alien that looks like a bright pink wombat, because how else would you blend
And he's
it?
adorable.
There's also a dead guy, but that doesn't happen yet.
We'll get to that. Because he's not dead.
He's not dead yet.
Okay, so episode 1.
Keyword is yet.
They're sitting in the communal bath that Yumato owns. It's just Kingo and Yufu.
They're in the hot tub, and they're talking about food. I'm assuming it's food. It's food I've never heard of because it's Japanese.
So Kinugawa and Yufuin are sitting in a hot tub.
Without the proper 5 distance social 5.
6 feet of social distancing. They're not social distancing. They're going to give COVID to everybody.
No one socially distances through this entire show, even when one of them turns up sick, and it makes me upsetty.
Yeah, because he could have had COVID.
I doubt they had COVID in 2015.
He didn't even wear a face mask.
COVID wasn't invented yet. Okay.
All right. So COVID. Okay. So here's what we've established so far. Kinugawa and Yufuin are sitting in a hot tub, and COVID's not invented. All right. What's next?
Wombats are pink. A wombat lands in the bath while they're talking about food, and the wombat is like, "Hey, you're humans, right?"
Specifically, they're talking about chikuwabu, and this is important. Chikuwabu is an ingredient in udon. No,
I don't.
Not
udon.
udon.
I know what udon is. I had no clue.
Not udon. Not udon.
He's a part of a Norse god.
Odin. No, Odin. Odin
Yes.
It's a food that.
Is it soup? Because I wrote soup
Okay,
later.
it's kind of like soup, but like it's not soup. So it's a bunch of different.
Okay, so they're at soup.
No. So it's not soup. So it's a bunch of different things that have been like cooked in a broth, but not together.
Oh,
each thing is like
that's
separate,
weird.
and you put it in the bowl together. Like you tell them what you want. So like if you want like daikon radish or chikuwabu or whatever, you tell them that, and then they'll put it in a bowl for you and like give it to you. You can get it at like, I mean, like street vendors will sell it, but like I know you could also get it like at the 7-Elevens they have in the rest of their konbinis and stuff like that. So like the convenience stores.
I know what a konbin is. I took a semester of Japanese.
Okay. That was for the audience. That was for the audience, not necessarily you.
Are you assuming that our audience doesn't speak Japanese?
Gomenasai, minasan. Gomenasai.
The podcast will be exclusively in Japanese from this point forward.
Ohayou gozaimasu. As I say at 10 p.m. Okay. Anyways. So talk about chikuwabu, and a pink wombat falls out of a wormhole into the bath. And
pretty normal occurrence.
Yeah, of course.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, every day it happens to me, and I'm like, please God, why? Make it stop. Please.
Can you not?
Not today. And then okay, and so then Yumoto chases the wombat out of the bathhouse, but not like...
Yeah, because Yumoto works at the bath, so he was just kind of there.
Because Yumoto's family owns it, but he only lives with his brother, and his brother is always chopping wood.
He chops so much wood.
For their bath that is run off a natural hot spring.
Yes.
He chops so much wood.
He chops so much wood that we don't know what they do with.
That's all he does, I think. There's only one other time we see him not, and that's when Yumoto is sick.
No. Oh, yes. I was going to say, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But, okay, when he's sick, yes. He stops chopping wood to be like, yo, bro, you sick.
Yep. And he goes to grill some onions. Anyways, that's way late. First episode.
Yeah, onions are later. We're not on onions.
No, not yet. Okay. So then they go to the Earth Defense Club. Next day. Go to the Earth Defense Club, and Yumoto is cuddling... Wait.
Oh, yeah, no, we skipped something. We skipped something important. They get shoulder checked by the... I wrote this in katakana. They get shoulder checked by the Golden Kuru.
Nice. Okay.
The student council.
They do. And that's important. That's very important, because at the end of this episode, we'll find out there are villains for this show.
I thought that didn't happen till next
No,
episode.
that happens at the end of this episode. We see them.
Oh, that absolutely does happen at the end of this episode. I would just like to say that every time I've written in notes... Oh, dear.
Oh.
Every time I've written notes on an episode for this show or for Gleipnir, episode 1 of this show had so many things in it that I wrote over twice as much as I ever have for an episode.
Wait, episode 1 of this?
Yes, there was so much in it that I wasn't expecting that I wrote down so much.
And I'm so happy.
Because things just kept happening.
It kept happening, and you were like, yes, please don't end. Please don't end.
No, I was just like, please give me a break.
So we're not even... So, okay, so the theme song doesn't play in the first episode until the end of the episode.
I mean, that's pretty standard.
That is pretty standard, but still, I think that is pretty important, because by this point, what we've talked about, the theme song would have started. So we're only in like the first 2 or 3 minutes.
No, I mean, we're farther than that. We're like 5 minutes.
Okay, maybe. But still, this is like the very first thing. And then they get shoulder checked by the student council. And then next day, skip to the next day, and we're in the Earth Defense Club LOL.
There's like this mystery sign on their club door that they all admit no one knows who it put there, and it says Earth Defense Club. Lol.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Written in Japanese, so whatever the Japanese equivalent
It's just
of
a bunch of
lol is,
W's.
I don't know.
Because it looks like grass, and I guess like somehow somehow it went from like laugh out loud or like whatever their equivalent is, like the kanji of that like can be read as like grass or whatever, and so then they just changed it to WWW or like WW or something, just a bunch of W's because it looks like grass, and that's their LOL.
I'm gonna take your
Maybe
word
I'm
on
wrong.
that,
I don't know.
Sensei.
I read a Twitter thread about that at one point, and that's the most reliable.
That's basically a doctorate degree these days.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. Anyways, yeah, that's what it says. It says Earth Defense Club LOL, and they basically immediately, because they're trying to like say, hey, we need to like, if we want to keep this club or like this room, we have to like officially say we're a club.
Oh, they have to do paperwork.
Yeah, and this is where we meet all five, everybody. So we meet Ryu, Io, Yufuin, Kinugawa, and Yumato.
And this is when they announced the one note personality for the two that we hadn't seen yet.
Yes. And I think Ryu's is my favorite. The fact that he is into girls and that's his thing, and we never see a girl in this show.
Never seeing a single one of them. He's always surrounded by dudes.
Yes.
And
there's a joke later on. I want to bring it up now because I'll forget. Because there's a ballet club advisor that's trying to recruit Io and Ryu for his ballet club, and Io says, "How much money can I make?" And then Ryu says, "How many girls can I get?" and the answer to Ryu's question is, well, it's fact that 90% of ballet fans are girls. And then Ryu seems interested at the time, but then later he goes and he's like, yeah, but see, if it's down to 90% of girls, then that'll like just drop my average, because right now I'm at 100% girls, and the only thing we've seen him with the entire time is boys, and he is clearly in love with Io, and Io is in love with him, and they're gay for sure.
I don't think that's official.
Basically, did you watch their double episode? They held that rod together.
I mean, they.
See, you can't even argue
I can't.
Because it's fact. It's just.
Wait, which episode was their double episode? Because I thought the double episode was Blue and Blonde Man. Because when they got in the fight after the convenience store.
Well, that was in episode 2, but there was an episode where Io left the club to be the treasurer of the student council.
Yeah. Oh, did they do a group fight in that one too? I didn't.
Yeah, they took the thing, because Yumato said, "Here, take."
They took the
here,
thing.
take the stick, and
They took the love stick.
They did. They took the love stick. That's exactly what they took.
Okay.
Okay, so
they're
all gay.
They end up. They're.
That's just like a fact.
Everyone's gay. Okay, we've established this.
Yes. Okay.
So he puts the wombat, puts the bracelets on the. Well, dudes.
Okay. So first, the wombat walks into their club room, but he doesn't walk in. He walks in under the arm of one of their teachers.
Actually, they bumped into the teacher in the hallway.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that's true. But the wombat wasn't. Or no, they saw the teacher came in with the wombat into their classroom.
In class, yeah.
And they were like, "What's?" And he walked up to them and was like, "You guys, you were in the bath last night.
I've met you before.
I saw your penises." And then he kind of was like, "Oh no," because everybody heard the wombat talking, and then the teacher started talking. Whatever.
And I think like the vibe. This didn't really come across because it was subtitled, but I think like the vibe is that the wombat talked like unnecessarily formally and old timey the whole time.
Well,
like whenever he was speaking as the professor.
Yeah, the professor was talking unnecessarily, like extremely formal and old timey.
That doesn't really come across in the English because we only have like
we don't really have
formal and slang, and that's about it.
Yeah, and most of the time we use formal, not slang. So we're introduced to it then, and then the wombat walks into the club room when they're all gathered there, and is like, "Yeah, no, you guys are the battle lovers, battle lovers."
This is where so much of the English comes in.
Yes. There's so much. It's the best. It's so good. Oh man.
Oh, there was also a dude. There was a dude that was like, "No one needs me. I'm basic," and they shot him with a space needle. This happens before.
That's right. And then he heard them talking about Chikyuu, and he was like how, because I believe it was Yufuin talking about Chikyuu, how Chikyuu, he was like, it's kind of like useless a little bit, and then the kid was like, "Oh, I'm just like Chikyuu. Oh no," kind of thing.
And then a needle yeets into his neck out of nowhere, and green thing happens.
Green thing.
Green, yes, green happens.
Okay, I'll trust your notes. So then they have to become
I wouldn't trust my notes.
Then they have to become the battle lovers, and fight, and then they get the bracelets. The bracelet starts beeping, and they just got a page.
And that means there's a monster nearby.
Yes, and they have to go to the payphone and call their parents.
They have to sign the permission slip to go fight monsters.
They are in high school, you know. But so they get the page, and then they go outside and find this Chikyuu monster, and that's where the Chikyuu comes in.
It's Josuke but Chikyuu.
Yeah, sure, it's a delinquent.
No, but didn't you see his hair? He had the flop hair. He was just Josuke.
Okay.
I wrote down Churro Josuke. That's his name in my
that's
notes.
like the classic delinquent hair.
Yeah, Churro Josuke.
It's not a churro either.
It looked like a churro.
It's a Chikyuu.
It was a churro in soup.
It's a Chikyuu. Oh.
So Chikyuu is Japanese for churro. Got it.
No. Oh no. Okay, so what happened was they meet the Chikyuu, and then they start saying all this weird stuff that they don't know how they're saying.
They do their magical girl boy monologues.
Transformation, and they say,
and we get the first transformation sequence.
And they say, "Love making," and they kiss their bracelets. And they all have their own catch line and their own transformation. We get to see most of them almost completely naked. But that happens throughout the whole show because they're in the bath most of the time.
They're always, half the show's in the bath.
Literally, yeah. So if you like guys,
and then every single... every single one of them... I watched an episode with a friend of mine. I streamed it while I was watching it for the notes, and they were like, "Do we ever actually get to see anything?" And I said no, and they're like, "Well, bad show, 0 out of 10."
Oh man, yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure there's.
So every one of them. Oh, of course there are. Everyone says their line, and then everyone is like, "Wow, that was dumb. Why did I just say that?"
They're like, "Wait, are you being controlled? By the power of love, I will stop you." It's great. It's great.
And the wombat's like, "Don't dish on it. I wrote it."
Yeah, exactly. It's great. And then finally Yumoto says the last line, and he's like, "Oh, I see." And he's all for it. He's like totally into it, which is great. I love how into
Yumoto
it
just goes for it in every instance.
It's the best. And then they all transform. They do their magical boy transformation. They wear these suits, and then they're all... Because, like, the thing I did like about this show, too, was it was self-aware, but not... Like, it was self-aware. It wasn't, like Deadpool.
Yeah, 'cause I think Mal listed it as a parody show.
Possibly, yeah. Let me see what... I don't see where it has the genres.
But they're all doing their thing, and they start like blasting lasers at Churro Josuke, and he starts like.
I see. What I was going to say though is like I liked how it was self-aware, but not like it never broke the fourth wall. You know,
that is fair.
And I liked that a
that
lot
is
because
fair.
because I feel like that's such like an easy thing to do when you're making a parody show, is to break the fourth wall, and like they never do that. Like there's not a single time. It's always...
I mean, they kind of do-ish in the final episode.
Okay, yeah. A little bit. a little bit, but like it's different. They're not breaking our fourth wall.
Yes-ish.
They're not, but like we'll get to that. Anyways, they transform, shoot their they shoot out their sparkly beams at the Chikyuu
They shoot
monster.
lasers.
Yeah, they shoot lasers at the Chikyuu monster, and
He just spits broth and negates most of them.
yes, because it's very hot broth.
Hot
You
broth.
wouldn't want to be burned. I mean, that would suck.
And then they like start experimenting with like what all they can do, because they like jump around and kick at first, and then
they start
this
saying
was
like,
before the lasers.
they say like random beam and like I'm good like whatever
Well,
beam.
no, when they summon their weapons, Yamato pulls his staff out, like an actual staff.
Yes, his actual
pulls
staff.
his staff out and says, "Love stick."
Yes, it's the love stick.
And I hate it.
What else is it?
Anything else?
Okay, but when they're transforming, they're love making.
Why?
Because they're making
Why
love.
do they have to be?
They're saving the world with love. Come on, Wob.
Okay. Well, they realize they need to love the churro soup monster to turn him good, and so they go on a monologue about how the whole world is soup.
Yes, the whole world is soup, and everybody was like, what was it? Like everybody was an ingredient in it or something like that.
And Chikyuu is an ingredient. Mm-hmm. You have a place.
Yep. And then they give the
and they blow him up.
Okay. Oh yes. They hit him with the love beam or whatever. The
love attack.
Love attack.
It's love attack.
Right.
Love attack.
Love attack. They hit him with that, and then they do the what is the love shower?
Love shower.
Yes, the
love shower, which I don't like that phrasing at all.
They shower him with love, and then he turns back into a person, and he is all refreshed and healed, and he realizes that
the error of his
ways, and that he is loved.
And then everyone in the group is like, "Hey, can we go home now?"
Yeah. Everybody's like, "Hey,
they just want out."
They really do, yeah.
Oh, we didn't actually establish why he's piloting the teacher, did we?
Oh yeah. So because.
Oh wait, that's next episode. That we find out what happened. Never mind, we're good.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, we can still discuss it right now because that's basically the end of that episode.
Yeah. So we get to episode 2, and they're discussing like where their powers are, and they're just like, "Yo, why do you have a dead man with you?
Why is the teacher with you? And like, what happened to him?" He's like, "Well, when Yamato was chasing me, I ran into this teacher, and he fell down the stairs in a pool of blood." And they show it, and there's so much blood. This man is dead. He was 77. He fell down an entire flight of stairs in a pool of blood. And he's dead.
And so naturally the wombat uses science powers on him, alien science powers.
Little micro healers in him.
And pilots him around the school.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, what else do you do?
Does this... calling back to last week, does this make the teacher a mecha?
Well, no, I don't think so, because the wombat never gets inside of him. So he's just like a giant robot where you pilot him from the outside.
I don't like any of this. And if the wombat gets too far away from the teacher, he'll start rotting, so the wombat has to stay near.
Yes. But then there's the other, you got to be careful because the price of Yamato becoming a love maker or a battle lover is that he has to do cuddles every day with Wom-san.
And Yamato aggressively cuddles.
Oh, he's a cuddler. He's a cuddler for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
the wombat hates every second of it, but he has to put up with it to get the team's
see,
cooperation.
I don't think he does. I think he's being a little tsundere about it, because when you see him,
you can't tell if he's blushing if he's already pink.
But you see the blush lines under his eyes.
I don't know. I have very little written about episode 2. Planet Evil. Sorry, I wrote down Planet Evil in episode 2 because I guess did they introduce the hamster already?
The hedgehog, but yes, that was the
same
episode.
thing.
No, it's not the same thing. A hamster and a hedgehog are very different. A hedgehog has spikes. Hamster does not.
A hedgehog is just
bigger.
a spiky hamster.
A hedgehog is bigger. A hamster is not. Hamsters can die at basically anything, and a hamster will not. Oh, I don't think so. Wait, maybe. Anyways.
All right, Mr. Biologist.
Okay, look, I have 2 pet rats. Okay, I kind of know rodents.
Rats aren't hamsters.
I've had a hamster before, and he lived for 2 years, and he was the best. And I named him. I'm not going to say actually. Anyways, so the hedgehog's name is the hedgehog's name is Lord Zunder,
and he is from
space.
Planet Evil.
Well, he's from space.
No, he says he's from Planet Evil.
Oh, does he? Oh, okay.
He actually says it. I wrote that down. He's from Planet Evil.
Okay, so clearly we know who the villains are, and he's helping the other 3, which I don't remember their name.
He's the student council. He's hanging out in the
but what was their
student
what was their
president's
magical
pocket?
boy group name? What was their boy band name?
I do not remember. The page we are on does not say it. My notes do not say it. I am sorry.
Okay, let me 1 second. I'm gonna look this up.
I don't know. There was Chevalier or something.
No, that's what their title was. Cute High Earth Defense Club Love. I want to see what their.
There was the Pearl.
Yeah,
There was
Pearl.
the Pearl. There was another one that I remember. Because it was an actual stone I've heard of. But my small brain is forgetting it.
It was like a 2. It was like a 2-word.
They were
the Earth Conquest Club. That was they also.
So they're working with the spiky hamster to take over the world. Is what it seems like at this point.
Yes, that's what they're doing. They're working with this hedgehog to take over the world so that everything can be pure and good.
And they're picking people who exude strong negative energy to turn into monsters. We find out that's what happened to Basic Man in episode 1.
Chikyuu
And they do it again. They do it again in this one because there's this dude that is trying to snap chopsticks in half, and they're not breaking perfectly in half, and he's getting so angry about it, and they shoot him with a needle.
He's getting pissed, and Lord Zunder shoots him with a needle.
They yeet a needle into his neck, and he turns into a chopstick monster.
Yes.
And he goes on a rant about how prime numbers are miserable because he gets angry at the number 5 because it's indivisible.
Yes. And that's because
I disagree with him.
He gets rid of that. He gets angry at that because they're a group of 5. The battle numbers.
How can you hate prime numbers? They're so good.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of get it, but also, I kind of don't get it because you just get 2.5.
You split them into 2.5 people.
I mean, that splits it in half.
No, prime numbers are rad, and he goes a rant about it, and he covers himself in chopsticks and sticks to the ceiling.
Yeah, yes, he does. Originally, I thought he was kind of based on a old yokai, but that's what my first thought was, the umbrella yokai. I don't know if you've seen that, the Japanese monster that looks like an umbrella.
I have not.
Okay, but he wasn't, so don't even worry. That was a dumb thought. He hangs from the ceiling though with a bat.
He's chopsticks with an eye, with one eye, and he makes people angry, and they start punching each other in the face because they're all reaching for chopsticks.
Yeah, and Yumoto defeats him by saying, "This chopstick, you think this is dumb? Well, this looks like a child's rifle," and then shoots it at him like a bullet.
Oh, this is actually I need to dial back a second because almost every villain in this episode, every monster in the show, and I think this is a great thing, gets teased earlier on.
Yes.
Because in the first episode they have the discussion about whether Chikyuu is worthwhile while they're in the bath. And then in the second episode, they talk about chopsticks because frickin' Yamato thinks they get turned into noodles or something.
No, wait, no. Yamato thinks something else. I don't remember, but Io says maybe it's noodles. I don't remember.
I thought it was noodles.
But like,
I thought it was a kind of noodle, and he's just like, yeah, they turn it into this. They turn leftover chopsticks into this other item, and they're just like, who told you that? He says, my brother, and they're like, well, your brother's an idiot. Shut up.
Yeah, they were kind of arguing also like if it was like environmentally safe to make chopsticks, and then they were like, well, yeah, because they only make chopsticks out of like places that like are meant to be cleared, not like natural like forests and stuff. They leave those alone. It's like they grow it specifically for disposable chopsticks, and they're made out of bamboo and stuff. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. Like they had that environmental thing in there because I think some people kind of worry about that too. You know, like if chopsticks are environmentally friendly because it's you throw them away, like especially the disposable ones because you throw them away.
But what are chopsticks? Are chopsticks even real?
I mean, yeah. What do you mean, what are chopsticks? They're two pieces of wood that you eat noodles with and eat other food with, and it's the most diverse tool to use to eat. And I love them. I have like 4 pairs myself.
I'm American. Dang it, give me a fork.
Yeah, I'm American too, and give me chopsticks. They're better for most things.
Chopsticks are cool unless you're trying to eat rice, and then it just doesn't work.
That just means you're not eating the right kind of rice, my guy.
You're right, 'cause I'm American.
You absolute loser. That's wrong.
Please.
Just eat right rice. Eat the right rice.
Just eat the... Sorry, I'm gonna freaking move to Japan. They'll let me in, right? I get to a Japanese board. I'm like, hey, I watch anime. Can I join you guys?
Oh, konnichiwa. Namae wa John desu. Please let me in your country. That'll do it.
Is that...
That's all you gotta say.
That was not right.
Watashi wa very much love Japan. That's it. They'll let you in.
Let's bail on this before you make people angry.
Please forgive me. I've had a lot of vodka tonight.
Yeah, you should have heard the sounds of his pain when he took the vodka shots.
I'm on my second cup, and this one, oh boy, I'm almost done.
I'm almost finished with my second Mike Carter, but at least I don't devolve into language.
Very, very nice. Finish that cup.
Sorry, I'm on it.
Anyways, we, actually, you know what? This might be a good time for a break.
Cool, because I gotta pee.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, we're going to go use the facilities. We'll be right back.
We don't need to tell them that. We're going to take a slight intermission. There's going to be a minor edit in the video. We'll be right back for y'all.
Gamer. Let's go. We are back. After that quick break. Quick break. Oh boy.
With the power of editing, it's almost like it's no time at all.
That's the fastest break. Oh man, eventually maybe we'll get ads there. That would be cool. That'd be really cool.
Monetization? No, never.
Oh man, yeah. Okay. Anyways, all right. Ooh,
anyway,
boy, it's really hitting me. Okay, so
I'm glad I'm on my way down.
So we got the battle lovers.
About you.
We got the battle lovers. The battle lovers.
We got the battle. We're at the end of episode 2. They shoot the chopstick man, and they're like, "Hey, chopsticks are fun for kids." Yeet.
Yeah. They can be a toy rifle if it breaks wrong. And I don't know what the lesson was there.
I frankly I don't know either.
Because the first one was like, well, think like higher of yourself kind of thing. And I think that's what a lot of it is. Like most of the episodes seem to be like, well, don't be so hard on yourself. Like friends are important. Like
it's a very wholesome message.
I mean, for the most part, I think it really. I mean, not even for the most part. I think entirely it is. Besides the message of just be gay, that's pretty important.
But speaking of be gay, episode 3.
Oh boy, what's episode 3? Give us the rundown here.
Episode 3 has my spiciest notes. It starts off with a pan down of a poster that explicitly states that the 27th of every month is Pretty Boy Day.
Yes, it's the Pretty Boy contest.
It's the pretty boy contest, which
Once-
everyone in the show is pretty boy. There are no non-pretty boys.
Yeah. And I especially like that, like, later on in one of the episodes, both Io and Ryu, they say they're like or like Ryu's like, I would say that we're pretty boys, and Io is just like, yeah, if I had to classify us, yeah, I would say we're hot.
Yeah, they did have that discussion.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah, we are. They've got some good self-esteem there.
They really do. They're like, it's not to the point of narciss. No, it is. It pretty much is, especially for Ryu.
They're all sitting here like, yeah, we're pretty boys, and I'm just like, wait, am I a pretty boy?
Everybody's a pretty boy.
Everyone's a pretty
That's
boy
the
if they
message of
think
the
hard
show.
enough.
That's the message of the show. Everyone is a pretty boy. Oh boy. Okay, so yeah. So we have pretty boys. That's fun. That's cool. I like that.
Oh, and we find out that Yumato's totally gay. Because the dance teacher, there's a dance teacher, is in bath ? And there were, and then the two dudes who were there, I forget which two it was.
It wasn't it Yufuin and Kinugawa?
I think it was Yufuin and Kinugawa.
Yes, it was definitely
and they see the ballet teacher's wang.
Yeah. They see it swinging for all to see because the towel fell down off of the advisor.
And they were just like, "Hey, don't!" And Yumato's just like, "I don't know, what's the problem? You just let it out."
And then he says, I don't know what your sub said, but mine said explicitly, well, I like seeing that kind of thing. I think it's good.
I think his was just, I don't remember what it was in my dub, and then the others were just like, Did you just come out to us?
Yeah. They actually said that. They said, Did he just come out? Yeah. So Yumato is like confirmed 100% gay, but so are the rest of them. Like, they're all gay.
They're all gay. Okay.
And so so they do that. The dance the ballet teacher, and then
he turns out to be a new teacher at the school.
Yeah,
who was apparently supposed to do like volleyball or something.
He was supposed to be the advisor for volleyball, but instead somehow they accidentally hired him for ballet. And then I think it was Kinugawa. I think he said, "Well, that doesn't make any sense. How could they accidentally hire somebody for that?" And then Yufuin said, "This is the same principle that puts on a pretty boys contest once a month."
There are monthly pretty boy contests at an all-boy school.
Yeah, and I think the important thing about this, right, like monthly, yeah, okay, that's like a lot, that's a lot. But this was the 1270 something, I think.
Wait, was it? I didn't write down which one it was.
It was in the 1200s of like pretty boy contests. So I'm thinking, if it's all from this one principle, at one point he was doing this daily. and then he went to weekly, and then he went to monthly.
There was some more fabulous English in this episode because the ballet teacher sometimes just throws in like English phrases. I'm pretty sure he says like "my pretty boys" at one point. At some point.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I don't understand why he did that either. Because it would make more sense if he was doing French. Because
make the dude French.
Like French, is more associated with ballet. I feel like.
I mean, either way, he can be American. I don't know, or maybe he was just Japanese and throwing in English phrases because he can.
And that's definitely what it is. But
gotta flex on the dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's for sure what he was doing. But anyways, he becomes the monster of that episode. And he becomes a black swan.
It's spoilers.
Wow, okay. Okay. Spoiler alert, he becomes the monster. And he's a black swan.
He turns into a duck.
No, swan. It's a swan. It's a swan because it's like
ducks,
swan-like.
Swans, they're close enough. They're all birds.
Yeah, swan has a longer neck.
Birds aren't real.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They're all government spies. And he turns into a black swan, and his feathers can make anybody love him.
Yeah, he crashes the Pretty Boy contest.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're getting ahead of things because all of the main cast, or 3 of the main cast, start trying to win over the other boys at the school.
Yeah, they're like, okay, what's the mathematically perfect way to win this? And instead of just one of them doing all 3 of the things they decide, which is the 3 things are what? strength, money, and brotherliness instead of
Yeah,
one of them doing all three.
They like split it up, and
Yeah.
so Io just like walks into a bathroom.
Yes.
They're taking a pee.
They're taking a piss.
And he just turns to the guy next
It's
to him and is
important
like,
to mention.
"Hey, bro."
He goes to the urinal right beside the guy, and it explicitly shows that there's 3 open ones, and it's so funny.
That is such a dominant move.
It's so dominant, and it's so funny. It's like this. Okay.
Oh,
like,
jeez, my phone is playing audio. Why is my phone playing
Oh
audio?
boy! Oh,
Sorry.
Banger alert! I don't
I'm
even
a
know
professional.
What was that? What was playing?
I don't know. It was a friend's Snapchat.
How did that even open? Oh man! Okay, look.
Because I opened Snapchat, I was trying to be stealthy.
Oh man! Wow, you were real stealthy with that one. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun to edit for you. Have fun with that one. So, anyways, we were. Where were we at?
I had a notification.
Okay, so you got a notification, and
they're in the bathroom. Okay.
Oh, that's right. They're in the bathroom. Okay, this is a funny show. This is a really funny show, but it's also really stupid.
Wow, I hadn't guessed.
And it's really, oh man, I love this show so much.
And so they're at adjacent urinals, and Io is just like, "Yo, bro, check it." And it looks like he freaking undoes his pants.
It looks like because like they're both pissing, and like he stands there, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think of me?" And then like
check it.
And then he turns around to him, and then he says,
and he whips out his bank account.
He whips out his bank account and shows him, and there is like 3,000 zeros on there with a number at the far left. It's ridiculous. He has millions of yen.
Is rich.
He's so rich, and he's only like a second. I think he's a second year, because Yumoto was a first year, and then Ryu and Io were second years, and then Kinugawa and Yufuin were third years.
No, I thought Kinugawa was a senior.
That is a third year.
Wait.
There's 3 years in high school in Japan.
Oh, that's not right. Oh, I hate it. America.
You tell me to shut up about my accent before.
I didn't tell you to shut up about your accent. I had a discussion with you about my accent. Wait, no, that wasn't you. That was
my
someone
Japanese
else.
accent.
Your Japanese. No, I had a discussion with a friend today about accents and about how you can like hear. I dip like really southern if I'm angry.
Yeah, there's very few times I dip southern, and
I've never heard you go southern.
Yeah,
I go southern more often than you, and you are more southern than I am.
Oh yeah. Roll Tide, baby. Yee. Oh boy.
Anyway, the other one, Ryu, like decides to be the like bad boy older brother, and walks up to the set of triplets. He walks up to the set of triplets who are cleaning. We missed the first one.
Yufuin starts with to strength. He starts with strength to do and he does an arm wrestling contest against a.
Oh, I don't remember this at all.
Oh yeah, he did that against the jacked dude, and then like Yufuin's losing, and then Yufuin winks at him, and the guy like blushes, and then he wins, and it's great.
Right.
And then the bathroom.
Everybody's gay.
Because remember, there's not a single girl in this show.
Right.
They're all boys. And then we get the bathroom scene with Io.
And then we get the bathroom money.
Then we're with Ryu going up to the triplets.
And he goes up to the triplets and he decides to like be their big bro.
Yeah.
So he smashes the classroom so they can't work.
Yeah, he snaps the broom in half, throws the erasers out the window, and breaks the desk so they can't clean it. And it wasn't.
You can't clean. Let's go hang out.
He said, "You can't clean it, and it's not your fault because they don't like cleaning." And instead of just helping them clean, he just makes it so they can't clean. And then they're like, "Aniki,
can we all call you Big Brother?"
And it's great.
It's so weird. I like the voicing of the triplets though, because like it was kind of it was spicy. It's like this. It's almost like an echo because 3 of them sound exactly the same.
It was honestly it was probably done by the same voice actor. I don't know that for sure, but like that would make sense.
No.
Look, dude, maybe not. I don't know, dude.
I mean, it might not be. Let me find out. Does this characters page list the triplets?
No.
It doesn't look like it.
You might.
That'd be too convenient.
You can check Mal. Because we're using AnyList right now.
Unlike you, I'm not gonna look up things in the middle of the podcast.
Fine, I'll look it up. Binan Koukou.
So they go to do the voting of the Pretty Boy contest, and Birdman shows up and stabs everybody with feathers.
Yeah.
And the feathers.
They make them fall.
The feathers make people gay.
Well, no, because they're already gay, so it doesn't make them gay. It just makes them fall in love with him.
But they made the comment. The hamster made the comment that if they turned everyone gay, no one could have kids and the world would end.
Oh, did he? I don't remember that at all.
He actually said that because, by golly, I wrote that down.
All the triplets are voiced by Takehiro Mizushima.
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
It's the voice actor for the triplets.
The triplets are voiced by the voice actor for the triplets. Thank you. That is massive news.
Okay, well, fine. I'll look up and see what else he's done. Okay, so he was Kaoran in Atsuki no Yona. He was Akira Konoe in Ane-log Mayoka Nesan no Honpen wa Tobidashite Tomaranai Monologue. He was, and then in a couple of these, Takamatsu and Angel Beats. He was Kotaro Takebayashi in Ansatsu Kyoshitsu, which is Assassination Classroom.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
He was Hayato Shirase in I no Kanata
I
no
don't
Four
remember who
Rhythm.
that is.
He's got glasses.
He's got glasses.
And green hair, it looks like. Maybe brown. I don't know. It's part of the...
He's probably that one guy. Anyway, back on to
he plays Triplet A in Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu Love and Triple B in Binan Koukou B and Chocolate Monster 8 and Chocolate Monster A and Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu Love. But that's not what we're talking about.
We're not talking about love. We're talking about love. We're talking about
he voices
Binan
6 different chocolate monsters in that show.
Binan Koukou
Chikyuu Bouei-bu Love.
So episode 3, there's a duck.
Yeah,
Swan.
They kill
man.
They beat the swan because you
should try loving yourself.
And Yumoto, wait, is that not the one where Yumoto doesn't understand?
No, Yumoto hugs him and is like, loving someone is so much better than being loved.
Because the guy he shoots him with the feather and he's like, why aren't you affected? And Yumoto says, I don't understand that kind of thing because
I don't know how to think. Thinking's hard.
Okay. Episode 4. What happens?
Oh, we're moving on to 4. Okay.
Which one's 4?
Episode 4 is the old man kid.
This is one of my favorite episodes. It stuck with me the most. I don't know why. I just really like.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I always remember them turning into kids.
So I watched episode 12. I streamed it with like 6 or 7 other people in a Discord server that I'm in.
Yeah.
And during the credit sequence, we see a clip from this one where they all turn into kids, and everyone like lost it when that happened.
Oh man!
Because they had no context for the entire show.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So there's a dude in the bath with them while they're talking about whether they look old, and someone says, "Yuhuin looks old," and he's like, "Do I look old?" And it turns out the 40-year-old man's like 16 and in high school with them.
Yeah, and as he walks out, Yumoto says, "Oh, excuse me, sir. Like, we didn't mean to be too loud." And like it was like a kind of like a like he says like I think he says OG-san, which is like
Can
grandpa.
we not say sir? Oh right, Japan has formality. I was like, I call people sir. Dang it, sir doesn't mean you're old.
Yeah, they
sir
had to like because they were
respectful.
like he was being super respectful to him, which Yumoto is like never crazy like super respectful.
Yeah, which is something you do for like old people.
Because Yumoto acts like a child.
Yumoto is like 5.
Uh-huh.
He wished to be a superhero.
Yeah, that's why it didn't change when he was getting younger.
Yeah.
His personality stayed exactly the same.
Okay, so old man gets shot with the Space Needle straight from Seattle.
Because he's upset because he's upset because people call him old because he has an old looking face, even though he's like a high schooler.
Oh, I have a comment that there's too much sparkly in this one, because this is the episode where they all, like, dump water them on themselves, and they all just, like, sparkle, and they all have, like, an individual shot of them sparkling as they dump water on themselves. I was uncomfortable.
It's so refreshing.
Why were they so sparkly?
Because they
How
just
can I be
cleaned
that sparkly?
themselves.
I want to be sparkly.
Just take a bath in a public bath. Too bad we don't have those.
I haven't bathed in 15 years.
Oh my god, you really are a damn weeb.
That is a lie for anyone listening to this show.
Yeah, we shower.
I bathed
daily.
today, thank you.
We shower daily. Please bathe yourself. Oh my god, it's disgusting.
If you can afford to go to an anime con, you can afford deal.
If you can afford to go to an anime con, yeah, you can definitely. Your parents can afford to pay you their water bill. Like, good night. Like. Oh god. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, they're really sparkling in this episode, and it's really great because like more than half this episode takes place in the bath, because
half the show takes place in the bath.
Yeah, I know, but this episode specifically is like there's a lot of.
This show should just be called High School Boys Bathe Together.
Yeah, but instead it's called Cute High Earth Defense Club Love or Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu Love. You're gonna learn it by the end of the night.
I'm not gonna.
That's the goal.
Get there,
That's the
okay?
goal. That's the goal. Comment down below if Wob should learn the name of this TV show.
Binan Coconut Chicken.
Oh, we're so close. Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu Love. Anyways, so they bathe a lot, and then they get young because this old man who's not an old man.
He's not old though.
He's not an old man.
Old man isn't old.
Old man isn't old, and he gets shot by the hedgehog needle and becomes evil villain bad guy.
He turns into this kid who turns people into kids, and they younger down the crew.
Yes. And then they find out, but then Yumoto realizes, he's like, wait, no. Or no, it's Ryu who realizes it. Ryu says like, oh wait, that guy wouldn't look like that if he was younger. Ugly people are always ugly. Which is what he says. Ugly people...
No, this is actually what I don't get. Because they try to shoot a laser at him, and they're like, we can't reach him, we're too weak when we're children. And then they're like, he's an illusion. And all of a sudden, their lasers can reach him?
So yeah. Well, okay, so here's the thing, right? They believed they couldn't because they were younger. And so subconsciously, like, because they were all smaller, they subconsciously thought it couldn't reach him. And because... But then it did. But also because of the illusion... They believed that like it couldn't, so here's my theory is that they completely is that he just missed, and it looked to them like it just like went short, but like it just like went beside him.
I'll take your word for this because this got a little confusing. This was also the episode where I realized there's like this super freaking spicy drum riff. Whenever they get into like battle time,
yes, the music.
Like I noticed this episode was the first one where I became aware of the battle theme. I'm just like, okay, I'm picking it up. This is good.
Oh yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu Love.
They shoot a laser at the Kid Man, and he turns into Old Man Kid.
Yeah. And then they all grow up, and they beat him, and they shower him in love, and they win.
And they're just like, hey, just because you're old doesn't mean you're old.
Yep, and then he sells his poetry at the school fair.
No, he gets a girlfriend who likes older men because they're more dependable, even though he's not an older man.
Well, that too, but like he also, he also sells his poetry book.
He does sell his poetry like 9 episodes later.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I mean, is there anything notable that we want to talk about like in the next episodes, or should we just skip to the end?
I have like random important notes in every episode.
Let's go through.
Let's just like blaze through this. Let's just speed run. Speed run. Episode 5. They reference peanuts.
Yes, there's a lot of references in this show actually, which I think is really cool, and I think it's okay. A hot take. Have you seen Kaguya-sama?
The first season only.
Okay, I haven't seen the second season either, but I've seen screenshots, and there's like one scene, like there's scenes in here that people are like, oh man, it looks so good. Oh man, they reference this, and like one of the scenes is like drawn in the Peanut style. One of the scenes
Really?
one of the scenes looks like ass, and it's supposed to be like old anime, but it looks like garbage. It looks awful.
I mean, old anime looks like garbage.
No, it doesn't. No, the old anime looks good. No, this looks like somebody like digitally making old anime, like, and it doesn't look good at all. And people are like, "Oh man, dude, oh!" And they like jerked it off to this one scene. It was ridiculous. Anyways, I don't think. I mean, I don't know the context, but so far, like, seeing people talk about those scenes doesn't make me want to watch that show. But just the fact that they like, it's just like a mention in this show, like because they say something about Linus's blanket.
Yeah, I think that's so weird that they reference penis, because that's like a comparatively obscure American reference.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how popular it is in Japan, but I feel like it wouldn't be like as popular, because like they reference Japanese things, obviously, like Detective Conan and like some other stuff I can't remember right now.
Yeah, because they censor out Detective.
Yeah, they censor out Conan because it's great. It's so good. Oh man. But like I don't know. I think that's a better use of references, just like casually mentioning it as like it being part of the world, because this is supposed to be set in our world, I think it's a better use.
Episode 5 is actually important to talk about. This episode is actually important to talk about.
Okay,
because this introduces the camera boy and the press team, the press club.
Oh yeah, the PC. Or no, PS. It's PS because it's the Press Society.
The PlayStation is important.
Yeah, and we're talking about PS1 here.
And this episode was actually like super uncomfortable because like the entire premise of like the whole show is that the press team will not leave them be. Like, they're doing literally anything, and the press team is like, they're in their face clicking pictures. And they make a comment that they're like, you said our show was good, therefore that explicitly gives us permission to film. We both took college courses on, like, journalism.
Yes.
That is not how that works.
No, you have to explicitly ask for consent, especially for photos and stuff. Like, there's a difference. There is a difference between, like if they're out in public, but technically school is not a public place. At least in America. I don't know how it is in Japan.
This episode stressed me out. And I don't get stressed. But they're chasing him around with the camera. They're taking pictures of Yamato while he's sleeping in class. I'm just like, no, get your camera out of there. Go away.
Yeah, they're doing it without, like they're not, telling them when. It's basically like paparazzi, but, like, it's like if you had a paparazzi in your house.
They also start throwing the dead teacher around.
What, do they?
Yeah, they throw the dead teacher at the press team so they can escape him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because the press team comes out of the bath, and they're like, we need to go...
Yeah, because they go into the bath and start taking pictures, which is completely illegal because
very illegal.
I think we're here, like, a drawing is a drawing, whatever. But, like, if this was in real life, that would be called child porn.
You...
Because they're all underage in this show.
I mean, at the very least, it's like a definite major violation of privacy.
Yes.
Because there was a streamer, wasn't there? There was a streamer that tried to, like, live stream in a Japanese or Korean bath or one of the two and got in, like, so much trouble.
Oh, maybe. Dr. Disrespect accidentally live streamed in a bathroom and he got banned for a few days on Twitch. Because of it.
Twitch politics barely matter.
Yeah, I know, but I know he's a guy, but, like, still, like, that's like it was. But
they just pop out of the water to take pictures.
Yeah,
they pop out of the water to take pictures, and they need to get away from them because their bracelets ping them.
Yeah, they get the pager. They get the page.
And they're like, okay, we need to go. And they're like, how do we escape? And they're like, oh no, the teacher died. Take him and throw him at the cameraman.
Yeah.
And then they just peace out.
Yup. And then they run away.
And they do their transformation. They do their transformation and then complain that the transformation takes too much time. Why do you make us say all the lines when we're in a time crunch?
Well, also, like, what's the point if we're in a private place? What's the point of us saying all the lines? Nobody can hear us. And the Wam-san just goes, it's for effect. Or something like that. It's cool.
And then they run to the school, and there's like a squid phone remote.
It's a squid remote.
Control.
It's a remote.
Because this one, the callback for this one was the press team was talking to Ryu while he was on the phone, and Ryu was just like, just press the button on the air conditioner, five head.
Yeah, because he was talking to one of his girlfriends. You know, so-called girlfriends. We never hear her voice. There's also, I don't think there's any female voice actors in this show.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know.
Based on the Annie List page, none of those are dudes. At least physically. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to misgender.
I don't have enough knowledge to speak on this topic. Anyway, they fight a squid remote, and they're like, "Oh no, he can remote control Yumoto. And he turns Scarlet around to shoot at the team, and then Wombat just slaps the remote out of his hand, and they win.
Yeah. It's great. It's so good. And then the press team is around from then on.
Yeah. So they fight the squid from Adam Sandler's Click.
Yeah.
And the press team is a recurring character.
Yeah. And so one of the things I liked about the press team, not to get analytical here, because, oh man.
You mean you don't want to write a college essay on Chicken Bombo?
I would love to write a college essay on Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu love, but luckily I'm
You should have done it. You should have done it when I wrote the essay on Death Note.
Finish that show.
I might eventually, okay?
No, please finish that show.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
Anyways, I liked how they showed the goldfish, because I think we're fine to talk about like later stuff now.
Yeah, because I kept expecting the goldfish to talk in those first few episodes they showed him.
You did what?
Because like they showed the goldfish in the press room, and I expected the goldfish to talk, and then he didn't for the first while.
Yeah. See, when I remember initially watching the show, I thought that the goldfish, I didn't think it was really much. I thought it was just like set dressing initially. Maybe I'm just not good at like reading twists or something. But like,
oh, normally I'm awful at it, but I could absolutely tell that the fish was going to talk eventually.
I don't know. Maybe it was also because I was watching weekly, and I wasn't like, I was watching it more for the boys, you know, seeing fun adventures rather than the weird talking animal things. And I wasn't.
Whereas I was watching it in one sitting to get my notes on it.
Yeah, and but they keep showing this. They showed this fish in the back. Like in this episode, that they only showed it like once or twice though, and it was just
they showed it like twice before the final episode.
And it just looked like a normal goldfish, and I thought it was just like set dressing, like to show that they kept like a animal or something. I don't know.
But we also had the precedent of both the wombat and the hamster.
If there was no hamster, I swear to God, if you say hamster one more time, I'm going to lose it. It's a hedgehog.
Same thing. They both start with H.
They're literally very different animals.
So there's a fish, and the fish doesn't talk.
Yeah. He doesn't talk.
And then we move, and that was like the end shot of the episode. I just no, my notes are in the floor.
Oh,
we got it. We're good.
Oh, we got them, everybody. We got the notes back. We're good.
So
wait,
I can't read these notes. These aren't. Did I write these in English? What am I looking at?
Okay, so episode whatever. I don't care. Let's just go to the end. Is there anything else left that's important?
They have a dining room. Episode 7, Ryu has an amazing hat.
Yeah, Ryu. Yes.
They go to the aggressively gay beach.
Oh yeah, the beach. Yeah, where there's only jacked dudes and a guy.
That was the same one where Ryu had like the frickin'. It's not a fedora. It's the one that everyone calls a fedora that isn't a fedora. What's it called?
Whatever. Who cares?
It's the hat.
Yeah, he had a hat. That's right, because they all met him, and like, because they were gonna get on the train, but Yumoto was like already in his swim trunks and like had his floaty on and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, dude, I don't want to be seen with this dude. What is he doing?" And they like waited forever to talk to him.
And they fight more monsters like every episode. They didn't fight a monster on the beach episode. They shot the teacher. That's
what I thought was really cool, because in in the Magical Girl formula, from what I've seen, every episode has to have a new monster. And like it's the same with like Super Sentai, how they have to have a mech fight in every episode. And,
but they didn't.
But they didn't do that. It was there wasn't an actual monster. Like they had that scene, but there was no actual monster. The teacher come back to life somehow, and then they killed him.
They thought he was the monster. They shot him with the love beam, and he dies again.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Cool isn't the right word. It's interesting.
This episode also like showed the distinction between the main characters and the like student council.
And it showed like the couples also.
Because they're in like different hotels, and the main crew is like sharing 6 freaking futons in a tiny room. It's all packed. Whereas the 3 of them are like, oh no, we got stuck in a tiny room where we each have our own private rooms in a massive living room.
Uh-huh.
And they complain the other beach is loud, so he's like, hey, should I go over and buy the other beach so people shut up?
Yeah. The student council is rich, if you didn't get it.
Just a little. I have notes on here that I legitimately don't even know what the notes are. Like, I have a note that just says, ha!
Nice. But, like, I think this is the episode where we get, like, kind of confirmed what the couples are. Because it's definitely Io and Ryu, and then Yufuin and Kinugawa, and then Yumoto and Wom-san.
Yeah, because everyone splits up, and there's like the thing with the toothbrush. Someone uses Io's toothbrush, and they're just like, "Do I have a secret lover who's using my toiletries?"
And then at the end of the episode, you find out it's Yumoto because he's just an idiot and doesn't understand.
And then, and then Wombat's just like, "Let's just get rid of that."
Oh, it's great. I'm glad he covered for him. You know.
Yeah, Wombat's true, bro.
He really is. So they never find out who uses Io's toothbrush because Yumoto also doesn't know because he uses an electric frog toothbrush.
Yeah.
Which is important to remember.
We go to episode 8. Episode 8, I felt called out because like the bad guy for this episode is like the shut-in who lives above a convenience store, and they do a shot of his room, and I'm just like, oh crap, they took a picture of my room.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I don't go outside when I can avoid it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a good episode, though. I like that one. Because it was like... Because at the beginning... I thought that one had a good message, and it kind of like called back to like other Magical Girl shows, which is like for little kids, like for like young girls a lot of the times, and they're like trying to teach them messages and stuff. And this one was like, no, dude, friends are good.
I also like this one because it's one of the ones where, like, literally anyone other than Yamato was relevant during a battle.
Yeah.
Because they go to fight the Shut-In, and the Shut-In's, like, monster incarnation is, like, he's this little goblin man hiding under a kotatsu. And they do, like, experimenting. So, like, whoever goes into the convenience store will, like, pick fights with their friends. And so, Yuhin goes into the convenience store and starts a fight with Kinugawa.
Yes.
And they start fighting, and Yamato's just like, hey, how about you maybe not?
Yeah, and then Yufuin just kind of makes a fight out of anything.
Yeah, and so they start fighting, and they do the investigation, and they find out that, like, anyone who goes into the convenience store will start starting fights, because, like, everyone did that. Even the triplets had a thing to say about it.
Yeah, that's right.
And so they go into the convenience store, and they yeet the Kontatsu man into the school, and he's like, ugh, school, I hate it. And, like, mid-fight, Yufuin and Kinugawa both fight off the anger beam, and they're like, yes, I'm mad, but it's irrelevant. And they make up, and they start fighting, and they grab the love stick together.
And they shoot him with their love beam.
And then Yamato is just like, hey, did you know having friends is good? And the Kontatsu's goblin's just like, oh no, I hadn't thought of that.
Oh yeah, it is. It is good.
Now, having friends is overrated. I don't have any friends.
Okay, buddy. All right.
Burr, 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 burr.
Anyways, so then episode 10. What happens in episode 10?
Episode 10. What happens? Did you not take notes? Are we going entirely off of my notes? Because that is a bad idea.
What happens in episode 10? Just give the basic.
Oh, dear. What happens in episode 10? Blue and Basic are cute together.
Of course.
Oh, Glasses Boy is the same as Glasses Girl. This is a team...
No, Glasses Boy.
No, he makes a comment. He makes a comment that Glasses Boy, he's as cute as any Glasses Girl in anime. They kind of break the fourth wall. He's just like, I'm the same as any Glasses Girl in anime.
I don't remember.
So this is the team manager episode.
Specifically.
Did we just completely skip episode 9?
What was episode 9?
Yeah, we did episode 9. The press team does the calendar photo shoot with them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
they take
one of the guys
photos.
I think it was Ryu. Oh, is that the melon episode? Because they used that to pay to go to the mountain.
Yes, that's the melon episode. Because there's a bunch of melon jokes.
This melon man gives them riddles, and then they just Google the answers.
Mm-hmm. But they still
go to the mountain anyway. They still go anyway, and they like get through like this death trap, and they're just like, "Hey, that was really fun. Thank you for setting that up."
And he's like, "Oh no, that's not what it was supposed to be." And then they're like, "No, it's okay, dude. We liked it." And he's like, oh, "Really?" And
one of the characters, I don't know who it was. I'm assuming it's Ryu. While they're going through the death trap, makes a comment that his like life goal is to be the next Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, because they're all talking about their life goals. And he's like, I'm going to be Hugh Hefner. And somebody's like, yeah, okay, buddy. Basically. I think they say, like, I doubt that. But it's great. Yeah, because they all know he's gay. And that's basically that episode. So now, okay, let's talk about the final 2 episodes.
Let's talk about... Because episode 10 just kind of happens. Episode 10 isn't too important.
Yeah, an
wait! Episode 10 is when we find out the fish can talk, and he looks like he's going to slam his desk and demand pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah, because that's basically what his role is. So, okay, so 11 and 10. 11 and 10 is when the big final battle happens between the Earth Defense Club and the Earth Conquest Club.
Mm-hmm.
And this is...
That's episode... No, I'm confused.
Okay,
episode 10 is when we find out the fish talks.
Yes, 11 and 12 is a 2-parter. It starts like they're doing a school festival, and they want to do transforming heroes and curry stand.
Yeah, so they just like cosplay as themselves.
Yeah, and then they tell Wam-san, "Hey, quit putting the blur on our face."
Yeah, because that's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fine because nobody everybody's like, oh yeah, it's just a cosplay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because Yamato is like the thing, and it's just like, yeah, we're just cosplaying as him.
Yeah, and so then they do that, whatever, and then because Kinugawa's cooking the curry, and Kusatsu, the leader of the Earth
the student council president is just like, oh, I hate curry. Why do I smell curry?
And also the last episode, they cleaned up the room, and they realized that, because I think that was the episode they got the cold, that Yumato got.
Yeah, that was the episode there was the cold, and then Goro stopped chopping wood to cut onions instead.
Yeah, that's the onion thing. We told you we'd get back to it. Anyways.
Goro is best boy, let's be real.
He's pretty cool. But Yumato cleans the room, and he's like, "Huh, I didn't know there was a door here." And then the student council they clean the room because of feng shui, so they don't clean it. They like
rearrange it.
And they're like, "Huh, I didn't know there was a door here." And so it's like, wonder where this door is.
I wonder what these 2 unrelated doors will do.
And then also it's kind of like, how do they not know where the door goes?
They should at least know they're like relatively located.
Yeah, because Akuya or Gero went to the Earth Defense Club before. He like went in there.
Yeah, so you should know that it's like relatively nearby.
It smells like something's dead in here because there was a rotting corpse of the teacher.
The teacher was rotting because the wombat went away.
Yeah. So they should know. But anyways, That's how they realize, because the student council president is pissed because he can smell curry, and Kinugawa is cooking the curry, and so the student council president opens the door. Kinugawa's there, and he's like, and then
how could you do this to me? And blows up the curry.
Yeah, blows up the curry after he transforms, and Kinugawa's like, "You're our enemy." Oh, no, but like because it's been established that they were childhood friends.
Yeah, it was like passed over, kind of, that they like made a wish when they were little kids.
Yeah, but we didn't know what that wish was.
We find out in episode 11, though, at the end of episode 11.
Yes.
So they all start fighting. Those two start fighting, sorry. And then, like, in the main club, they're selling curry, and the other student council members do their transformation or whatever.
Well,
and
they say, oh, this is the student council president, and the defense club is like, wait, is that Kinugawa? And then they both look at each other and like, wait, you're there? And then they realize,
yeah, because the other 4 defense club members and the other 2 student council members are standing like right next to each other, all in costume, and they're just like,
well, the student council members weren't in costume yet, but they were.
No, they were in costume because they were selling the curry.
No. The student.
They were doing cosplay curry.
Student council.
Oh, student council wasn't.
They weren't
okay.
in costume yet. They were just talking very loudly about how they knew who was up on the roof for some reason.
And they were just like, wait.
And then everybody realizes who everybody is, and they're like, oh, well, this makes things easy. And then they all start fighting, and then the goldfish comes.
The goldfish comes and is like, kill them all.
And the press team is ratings.
Wait, is that episode 11 or 12? Do we find out about?
They talk about it at the end of episode 11. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They argue about curry, and then the fish is like. We find out that the hamster works for the fish, but we don't find out what the fish is doing until 12.
No, we know what he's doing in 11 because he doesn't explain it to everybody, but like
no, because the end of 11 is when we find out why the president and Blue Man hate each other. We find out.
Maybe. Whatever.
We find out, which, by the way, the only reason they're making curry is because Io really wants the cash prize.
Yeah, Io wants the cash
that's
prize,
important.
and Yufuin said Kinugawa can cook curry.
He knows how to cook curry. And we find out that, Blue Man, Kinugawa, and student council president are up fighting on the roof. And they do, this, flashback scene, and it finds out that student president hates Kinugawa because when they were little, they made a deal to always be friends. And then one time Kinugawa says, I'm sorry, I can't hang out, I have other obligations, goes to a curry event, and that apparently means some kind of world-ending betrayal?
Well, he goes, okay, here's what how I saw it. He says, sorry, I have to do something else. And Kinugawa is, too nice to tell him, to be like, oh, you wouldn't want to do this thing, right? Because he's going to get curry, and clearly the student council president, whose name is Kusatsu, doesn't like curry. I think we can agree with that. He doesn't like curry, and so he leaves to go get it because he doesn't want to bother him and make him go do something he doesn't want to do. And he accidentally bumps into Yufuin, and Yufuin's like, "Oh, I also like curry." And Kinugawa's like, "I've got a coupon," and Yufuin says, "Me too. Let's go make out at the curry place." And then
they were 5. I don't think that's how that went.
They were not 5. They were in middle school.
Oh,
you don't see
man.
them make out, and they don't. I don't know if they make out. They never showed.
I mean,
screen.
They went to eat
They're
curry. Jeez, man. So they went to eat curry, and student president gets mad because apparently having other friends is illegal.
Yeah, and then he won't talk to him, gives him the silent treatment, and Kinugawa's like, well, I'll just let him kind of I'll let him kind of cool off, and then we'll be able to be friends again, which isn't what happens.
We saw that in an earlier episode. They did that when he was fighting with Yufuin.
Yeah,
he's just Yufuin doesn't want to talk to me. I'll just let it simmer for a bit.
Yeah, which is, I think that's one thing I really like about the show is everything is set up before. Nothing is comes out of nowhere. You know, like at least like for the major plot points, like even the monsters are like mentioned at the beginning of the episodes.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I think is good, is they do definitely pay off on setups.
Yeah, they like setups are always really good, and it leaves like a really oh man, it's hard to talk right now, but it leaves it's really good. It's a good show, guys. Go watch it.
Either way, there's like the cliffhanger. They reveal why the president and Kinagawa are angry at each other, and then it's a dead end. And we go to episode 12. We go to episode 12, and they start fighting.
Find out it's all a TV show for space.
It's a space show.
Yep, and the goldfish is the director, and Lord I don't even remember his name now. The hedgehog.
Zundar the hamster goes to
the
Earth.
Hedgehog is like he's on the side of the goldfish and is like trying to like to help the goldfish get his good ratings and get his show, and whereas Wamsan is like he's with what like the ethics
He's like
council?
the ethics board, yeah.
And it's like you can't just do this to a race of to an entire like race of alien.
Because the hamster and fish's show is
Can I Destroy Earth?
Is to destroy Earth, yeah.
That's the name of the show, is Can I Destroy Earth? CIDE for short.
And the womster, the wombat is just like, no.
You can't do that. You can't do that. And so then now there's the whole big fight, and we realize why they've been fighting this whole time. It all makes sense.
Yeah, they've been like pitted against each other for the sake of TV.
And so then Yumato's brother comes in as a giant like big evil hatchet man. He was apparently before he was a battle lover.
Yeah, so he realizes that Yumato's a battle lover. He walks in with the axe, grabs the fish. That's how the fish gets to the battle. Is Goro just grabbed the fish?
Yes, that's right.
And we find out that the fish tried to destroy Earth once before, and Goro stopped it with an axe.
Yeah, he stopped it because he would beat every monster with an axe. And he was the first battle lover, the first generation battle lovers. But and then he gets turned evil, and they have to fight him, and then they become...
Yeah, they stab him with like 15 space hedgehog needles.
Yes. He becomes really evil and really strong. They can't beat him until...
And the only thing he can say is chop, like 15,000 times.
Yeah. But they can't beat him until Yumato becomes an angel. He grows angel wings and become the more better battle lovers.
The more better battle lovers.
And that is the name. That is what they say. They
repeatedly.
Say more better
By
battle
the way,
lovers. More better battle lovers.
This is a mild detail, but just another like thing that's worth mentioning is the aliens are watching on a Pony brand TV.
Oh yeah, and it's on TV like Nokia or something, which is like TV Tokyo. It's literally like the same thing. It's great.
But it's not on a Sony brand. It's on a Pony brand.
It's on
They're
Pony.
Not sponsored.
Yes.
They're not sponsored.
They're not. And so then so they're doing this whole thing, fighting. And they become the more better battle lovers, and they all team up, and then they're called...
Yeah, because...
Wait, what?
Sorry, I cut you off. Because they try to do the love attack on Goru, and it doesn't work. It blows them up, and then he's just like, bruh.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. And so then they all team up. So like the Earth Conquest Club and the Earth Defense Club team up. So there's more battle lovers, and that's what they're called. They're called more battle lovers.
And then all of them. So, like, Yamato grows his wings, and then the wombat is like, hey, how about the rest of you do that? And they're like, oh, yeah, right, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Yep. And it's great.
And all 8 of them grow wings. All 8 of them grow wings. Meanwhile, the fish and the hedgehog, the fish and the ham hog are in this, like, Gundam suit now.
Yeah, they're in a giant mech.
They like summon a mech out of nowhere.
Again, it kind of calls back to like Sentai things, where they're in a big giant mech, because that happens in every episode of Sentai.
I'm so confused with this show. I don't think I could describe it any better sober, and that's a problem.
And that's what makes it so fun. And I don't think we're gonna tell you how it ends.
Wait, are we not?
I think it'll be more fun to let you guys watch it.
That's not how reviews work, Seaweed.
Okay, they beat the robot.
Final spoilers. Final spoilers.
Yeah, they beat the robot with the more love beam.
Yeah, they blow it up after all 8 of them grow wings.
Yes.
And then they don't kill him. They don't kill the fish. They make the fish swear to only make
Well, they don't even make him. He just swears to make quality content.
He swears to make quality content only.
Wait, because I screenshotted this. I didn't. It's on my other computer. Wait, okay, let me remember this. Because there's a.
Why do you have multiple computers?
I have a desktop and a laptop, dog. Anyways, shut up. Anyways, I screenshot this. Let me try to remember what Yumoto says. Yumoto says he says something along the lines of if you don't care about what you're creating, then what you're creating isn't gonna be good.
You can never make good work if you don't have love for your
That's
work.
what it is. If you don't, you can't. Your content won't be good if you don't love the content you're making, which is great. And I think, hey, AniTube, let's take these words to heart.
Anime podcast? I hate it. Let's not do it.
Let's take these words to heart, guys. Anybody on YouTube, let's take these words to heart. Don't just make money for a big buck. Hollywood, I know you're listening. Hollywood. Take these words to heart.
Everyone in Hollywood should watch Chico Bo.
Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu love. They should though also. But anyways, yeah. So they make them apologize, and it's great.
Oh, and they cure Goru, by the way.
Oh yeah.
They use the big love beam on Goru, and Goru's like, "Oh yeah, why am I trying to kill my brother? That's a bad move."
They use the more better love shower.
The more better.
And he's like, "Oh, I feel so refreshed."
It's just like taking a bath in the bath that I own.
Yep. And it's great.
And then after they defeat the fish and the ham hog, they go back to the bath again. And the student council's with them this time, so there's 8 dudes in a hot tub.
Yep.
Not 5 feet apart because they're all gay.
They're all gay.
Every person in the show is gay. That's the point of episode 3.
I hope we've made this clear that every character in the show is gay.
I don't know if they are or not, but this show definitely has a lot of gay energy.
It's a very gay show.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Good for them.
It's definitely not what I'm used to. I've never watched a show with this much of with this much of that.
Yeah, this is clearly way out of your wheelhouse.
Look, I watch
interesting.
I watch shonen and mystery and stupid 15-year-old marketed harem shows.
There we go. That's all we need.
The best part to acknowledging your taste is knowing that it is trash and being okay with it.
That's true. That's step 1 of acceptance.
Alrighty, we're back. Full disclosure, we got hit with tech issues once again. We figured out how to fix it. It won't be a problem going forward, theoretically.
Yeah, we're going to be all good from now on.
But it was a real scare.
It was terrifying. We thought we'd lost everything.
We thought the whole audio was gone, but we managed to save it off.
So we're back, and we're here with our final thoughts now.
Our final thoughts on Binan Koukou Chikyuu Earth Defense Club love.
Oh, you were so close. All you had to say was Bouei-bu. Was it? Okay, anyways, before I get into my final thoughts though, I did want to make one comment. One of the things I really loved about this show and the characters and everything, it might seem minor, but it's the way they all wear their uniform. Right?
Their uniforms were adorable. I'll give them that.
Oh no, not the magical boy uniforms, like their school uniforms.
Oh, what about it?
So okay, so if you notice, so first off, Yumoto wears the girl's uniform because he thinks it's cuter.
Wait, does he? I never
Yes,
caught on
that's
to that.
he's wearing the sailor uniform. He's not wearing the suit and tie. He only wears that when he gets sick. But also, Yufuin, his jacket is unbuttoned. He doesn't wear the tie. The top two buttons are unbuttoned. He's like really chill about it. He doesn't care, and that fits his personality. And the same with Yumoto. It fits his personality of childish, because it's like kind of more of a childish uniform for boys when they wear the sailor fuku. It's like more of a kid's uniform. And Yufuin's fits his like kind of like carefree attitude, whereas like Kinugawa and Io, they wear theirs. The tie is fully up, their buttons are all the way up, their jacket is fully buttoned and everything. They're really like, well dressed because they're like more like they're on the like smarter end of the spectrum of students.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ryu's is interesting, I think, because he only has one button on his jacket done. It's either one or two, I don't remember, but it's not all of them. And then his tie, he has the tie, but it's not all the way up tight like a tie should be. It's kind of loose, and the top button is undone. And it looks kind of cool. And his hair, he's the only one who has anything in his hair. Also like a hairband thing. And he wears his hair all fancy all the time. And that kind of goes into his more like where he is kind of cool, but he still is like following the rules kind of thing. But he's a little loose, but he's not like whereas Yufuin doesn't care. And I don't know, I like that thing because the same thing happens in Free as well, where like they all in that show they all wear their jackets zipped up to a different amount, and it
different percentage of zipper.
It really is, yeah, it is, and it shows their personality, and I really like those little details that they do in here, and I just wanted to mention that. I thought that was a very good thing.
I did not pick up on that at all, so like thank you for calling that out. I wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah.
One other important thing, actually, before we give our final comments, there was an after credits scene on episode 12, and by after credits I mean it was like 12 frames. 12 frames stating that the teacher that the Wombat had been piloting recovered and lived.
They brought him back to life because somebody from Wombat's planet brought life back or something is what mine said.
I didn't get to read it. Read it because it was there for such a short amount of time.
Got you.
It was like
I think
2 seconds at most.
Oh yeah. My favorite part was that it's like there's a song playing in the background. It just cuts it off in the middle of a word. Like it's so abrupt.
It just ends.
It ends, and it's great. I love it so much. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot about that. So, are we ready for our final thoughts now?
I think we're ready for our final thoughts. What is your final closing commentary and your out of 10 rating for Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu love?
Oh, it's close enough. I absolutely adore this show. I think it was even better the second time around. The characters are also, it's just such a fun show, and it's something that like I am excited to go back to in the future, which doesn't happen with a lot of shows. Like there's very few shows like that for me. And so before my initial viewing, this was a 9 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 now. I love this show.
10 out of 10. This is a masterpiece.
This is a masterpiece. And I'm going to go watch season 2 here very shortly. And then, which is called Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu Love. And then the final movie, Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu Love. And then I will watch the spin-off series, Binan Koukou Chikyuu Bouei-bu Happy Kiss. which I have not watched yet. That's the only thing I haven't watched yet.
That's so many things.
It's a lot. Yeah. Obviously it's a very popular franchise. Please, I want to please make a decent Blu-ray that doesn't cost so much money. Please. Anyways, 10 out of 10. I love this show. Absolutely adore it. Please go watch it. Please. Okay? So Wob, what's your thoughts? I know you're going to disappoint me, but
I don't want to follow that up. So, I usually rate very generously. For the most part, my scale for shows I liked was like 6 to 10.
Yeah.
I have multiple 10s. I have a lot of 8s, a handful of 9s, a lot of 7s.
And 1, 2.
And 1, 2. Only 1, 2. The next lowest is a 5. Or wait, no, 4. Sorry.
It's a 4.
I gave a show, a movie, an OVA, whatever it is.
It's an OVA, and you should hate that. Anyways,
let's not spoil what it is. I gave it a 4. I'm usually very generous with my ratings. This show, I've given a 5 out of 10. I theoretically enjoyed the time I spent watching it. But for my personal preference, I really couldn't get into it. I found it frustrating that we had this really diverse cast of 5 characters with their own personalities, but when it came into like actual battles and fighting, for the most part, Yumiko Scarlet was the only one who like did anything except for like 2 fights. The monsters of the week were interesting, but the episodes started to feel kind of repetitive to me. But I think that's just the nature of this genre. This genre isn't for me. I'll still watch more of them later if we talk about them on the show, but it's not something I'm going to go out of my way. I can completely understand why people would enjoy the show, why Seaweed would enjoy the show. Yeah. It's just it's really not for me.
And you know, I respect that. You know, I'm glad I'm honestly I'm just happy you gave it the old college try. You know?
I'm surprised. I mean, I put on Twitter, I never would have watched this show if you didn't ask me to.
You really, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, you wouldn't have, and like I know you wouldn't have, which is, I mean, that's part of the reason I won't lie. That's part of the reason I chose this show. But like I also I truly love this show. Obviously, I hope that came across. In this episode.
I think we noticed.
Like it really is one of my favorites, but I am able to like respect the fact that like not everybody's gonna like it. You know, it's
people can like different genres. Show. That's fine.
Exactly, and I think that's a good. I think that's a good thing because that's what makes life interesting. You know, and, like,
I do think this would be
conversations without it.
I do think this would be a wild show to watch with a group of like-minded people. Because like I said, when I was watching this for my notes, I broadcasted the final episode to some friends with zero context. It was their request to watch it with zero context. Yes. And we had a good laugh when they, who had no clue what the show was, see a fish start talking about their TV ratings.
Oh, yeah. I think that's part of I would love to show this to a bunch of people that have no idea what it is. I think that would be great. Because I think
is that not what this podcast is?
Exactly, and that's like I didn't tell you anything going into this. Like, I went in magical boys.
I went in knowing that it was boys do magic stuff, and that's the only frame of reference I had.
Yeah, and I think it was better for that because
definitely.
I think it's. I mean, because if you try to explain this show, I mean, yeah, I know we just did explain the entire show. For 2 hours, but
I mean that's what a review is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. But like, I think it takes away some of the magic of it, especially from this one. Because when I didn't initially watch this show just like out of my own curiosity. When I was watching it airing, one of my friends at the time actually messaged me and said, "Hey, check out this show. I think you might like it." And I watched the first episode like immediately. Because I was a high schooler and didn't have anything else to do. Because it was a Sunday night. What else is there to do, you know? And so I immediately watched it. And I remember, because I think only the first episode was out. And I remember messaging them back and said, "This is the best show ever made." From episode 1, I knew that. And I think this is one of those shows. Like, you'll know from the first episode if you're going to like it or not. because I think that first episode shows everything. Like it
sums up what you're in for the rest.
Exactly.
Of the series.
It shows you everything you're gonna experience, but that's not the right way to put it. It gives you the right expectations, I think.
Definitely.
I think it's very good at that. I think it's a very well constructed show. Also, it's like most of the jokes land. There's a lot of times I was cackling in laughter watching this, like rewatching it. And it was great. Please watch it. Please just give it a try. If nothing else, give it a try.
It's definitely good to talk to other people too, because I remember when I was watching this, I sent Seaweed a screenshot when the wombat accidentally kills the teacher. There's this freeze frame of the wombat's reaction, and I screenshotted it and sent it to him, and he responded by linking me the same screenshot that he had captured in 2015.
Yep, I sent him the date and time and everything, and I still have that. That was my Skype profile picture for a long time. That was my Annie List banner for a long time. There's so many screen capable moments in this show too. Like from good art, like really cool things, and like from like lines of dialogue. It's so great. There's so many things to love about this show, but again, I understand why like you're not like as into it as I am.
There's a lot of good in this show, but it's definitely not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I won't hate you for it, though.
No, you've got plenty of other things to hate me for.
I have legitimate things to hate you for, yeah. Finish Death Note. Good night. Finish that show. And we're going to have to talk about that 4 out of 10 that you gave at some point. We won't do it this week. We're still in the Death Note thing right now.
We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there, because
anyway,
that one pains me.
I think this is where we should start calling it. We'll be back next week with week 3 being my choice for coming back to one of my personal favorites from just a couple seasons ago, the weekly situational comedy anime Dejiness Senpai.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I cannot wait to talk about it.
I haven't
Seaweed hasn't seen it.
I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
I watched the show as it was coming out, and I adored it, and I can't wait to talk about it.
I'm really excited to watch it. But yeah, I think that's the end of the episode.
We'll hopefully see you next Friday with episode 3.
Yep. And with that, all I have to say is, love is over.
Love is over.
Love is over. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Follow us, whatever. It's in the description. You've listened to a podcast before. All right. Bye-bye.